Good morning, world from Singapore. I am Amar Asrani, your host for today again for AR Voices. This is our maybe I guess eighth episode or ninth episode, I guess, and it's a humble attempt to reach everyone on general life situations and learning processes for self-growth and prosperous life as whole. If you go to our channel, you can see that we have covered subjects like mindfulness, relationships, mother tongue learning, lifelong learning, warriors of pandemic, giving back to society. And today we have come up with a very relevant topic, sanity. Sanity, as we all know, is sound mental health. And let me quote, you have got to have a sense of humor to keep your sanity, as mentioned by Lance Bass. I have noted down that sanity can be summed up in six major categories like planning, organizing, gratitude, health, inventiveness, and managing relationships. To elaborate on these subjects of sanity, we have our regular panelists, Dr. Ram, Dr. Raji, and Mr. Arun. As usual, we have all known about them, but a brief intro that Dr. Ram is a director of ACE International in Singapore. You can Google him. And without much further ado, I ask Dr. Ram to give his insight on sanity in this pandemic time. Dr. Ram, stage is yours.
Thank you, Amar, for making us to think about sanity. It is a nice introduction. And thank you all, Dr. Raji and Mr. Arun Sharma. The day is with us when we are having the sanity. If we don't have the sanity, the day is not ours. So we must need to focus how do we embrace and explore by the way of engaging the sanity, the practices, the way how do we able to think and adapt well for our day-to-day life. I start to share the slides for your better understanding. Finding sanity in our crazy life. Every day the people are having lot of issues, lot of activities, lot of engagements. Whether they are becoming crazy enough or they are creating something better enough. Sanity is the new normal way. As of now, the COVID pandemic situation created a lot of challenges for the people. We must need to think all positive ways. How do we able to embrace our day-to-day life in a positive mode? Myself, Dr. B. Ramanathan, I'm the founder and managing director of ACE International Private Limited. The sanity, how do we define? Already, Mr. has defined a way, but the state of being mentally healthy, whether they are possessing common sense and rational thinking. Here, we can focus on the happiness, whether we have the needs to meet out or getting what we want to achieve or focusing on those present situation. That is clearly emphasizing how to bring the happiness. Whether we are having something in the meaningfulness of our activities or day-to-day life, raising our own kids in the family or helping others with the possible ways to support for their needs and thinking about the conditions how we want to move further. So all these things are making you to feel mentally healthy and embracing with your rational thinking. How do we define the objective of sanity testing? Because now this sanity testing is adopted well for the software companies for their functional aspects. There are many ways they are formulating the testing methodology and adopting the practices which are validating to fix the bugs and the core functionalities to improve. So this is the way they can able to increase the productions. That is That is the main objective for the sanity testing in software company. To make more clear the feature of sanity testing, how we can able to understand better. There are a lot of subset of testing regressions going on, and scripted things are coming to interplay with that. There is no documentation sometimes occur. So how do we able to fix it? That is the ultimate goal. We have to go very deep and understand about the formula, how to fix it when we are occurring any problems. We have to make some speedy evaluation, that is making the quick release of the expected results. Another way, the COVID-19 fears take over the sanity. So we must need to check our activities, whether we are getting affected, because every time we are getting some new news spread all over, because period of time we have come across with many things such of the cases. We must need to have our positive energy to remove the fear case from our side, also from the community. That is the ultimate aim. There are few tips to take care of our mental health while working from home during this COVID-19. Try to make clear about the daily schedule, how to make it out possible, not to exceed the overtiming kind of conditions, including our schedule regular with some kind of short breaks, that is making us to get some rest in between the short breaks. That is the way we have to feel healthy and eat healthy. We must need to designate or dedicate some possible things how to use the relaxing time efficiently as well as effectively. Create some kind of short list of daily goal sets how to achieve, when we have to break it down in an hourly basis. That is making us very comfortable to finish the task. Benefits of the positive work environment is a good sign of doing great things. Um, we have to focus on our abilities, capabilities, how to build strong, how to understand about the ecosystem, how to do the better things through this positive energy for the working environment. Workplace sanity is a must do practice. We have to check whether we are doing the energizing work, we are having the interest to do the job or not. So I love my job is a positive attitude. We must need to focus and grow it. There are many approaches, but we need to focus on few approaches for the business model innovation, because as of now, many things are moving from offline to online. So business also getting the same challenge, and there are many people who are not able to fit with these conditions, but there are few people they can overcome. So we must need to think about the dominant business model in our industry, how to adapt it, and it has to focus for the important long held belief, that is making us to get some supporting elements for practicing well. Turn on some kind of underlying belief about the chief of the organization, that is making some kind of positive energy for the team to work well. Sanity test, as already we revealed, the sanity testing is the must do practice for the organization to screen the functionality as well as operational issues. We have to translate and reframe the belief whenever the time needs in the industry level. So that is also making some kind of reviews, analysis, and taking some new decisions to improve the strategies. Software testing methods completely adopted these kind of things. They are having different kind of formulations like sanity test or smoke test. Smoke test, the verifying the critical functionality of the conditions, whereas the new functionality when it is coming and emerging and incorporate with the functional system, we must need to focus on this kind of system, how to make it possible to overcome the current problems. When we are feeling something sanity, we must need to have some kind of attitude like agility. We must focus well. We must think small increments, that is encouragements for our activities, cross functional activity between the team members to motivate to sustain in the environment successfully. And we must to focus on the stable teams, who are stable for long time period and increase more productivity and getting some kind of high values. Sanity is our routines. We could not able to forget it. There are a lot of things behind with that. How to make your connections between the community as well as family and other relationships, making yourself get getting some kind of best of performance skills or performance values. You must have some self direction, how to reach your target or goal sets, making comfortable to live and lead. There are many guidance and mentors required. We have to focus on that, to whom we can approach. That is making the predictability of your goal sets to achieve comfortable. Many people nowadays, they are having the financial problems. We must need to think, it is not a kind of way to avoid. Money is a huge deal where your friends or relatives or community may not give some good attention on you. So we must need to focus on your financial crisis when it is not going to affect your image or conditions in the life. We can read a lot of books which are very much focused and related to the family problems. That is also giving some kind of tips or getting some kind of positive energy for you to deal with your problems, as the illustrations narrated in the book. Healthy mindset, that is the supporting elements. Nowadays it is the digital era. We are having a lot of apps. Some Sanity app is the helpful things. You can able to go through with the apps and getting some kind of knowledge source or informations that is exactly what you want. That will help you to go with the current scenario to meet up with your Sanity requirements. Thank you. Hopefully it is giving some kind of value for you to listen. Thank you. Over to Amar.
Thank you, Dr. Ram, for descriptive uh, PPT presentation about sanity. But as for me, this holds good for millennials and today's people. As as I've been grown in the early 70s and 80s, for me, if I just make one disturbing phone call to my friend, and my sanity is reserved back. Just bothering somebody for no reason, I will call him at 3 a.m. in the morning and disturb his sleep, and he will he will shout at me and he will curse me. That cursing and shouting will make me feel alive, and I'll go back to my normalcy. So this was the proven communication method of
Welcome to Bixby.
bringing
You can talk.
bringing back to normalcy. So definitely nowadays everybody is WhatsApp savvy and net savvy, so they follow these steps. Humans are disconnected, so your way of approach is definitely yes in this matter. Now, looking at the ladies' point of view, I would like to invite Dr. Raji. Dr. Raji, also managing director and founder of MAST, Masters Academy of Speech and Training. Dr. Raji, women, as usual, they overthink, and we men underthink. So, with so much of overthinking, you already are occupied with so many multifunctional areas of life to cope up with. And upon that, this, no, this sanity, please give some tips to our women folk how to cope up with this kind of situation. Dr. Raji.
Thank you, Amar. I just would like to set one thing right at the outset. What I'm going to present, I will not label it as a woman's point of view of a sanity. What I see it as is different. When I listened to Dr. Ram, I found that amidst industrialization, how various industries and amidst various professions, you can maintain sanity in a technical sense, like, and beyond that and all. Mine is another dimension, if you may say so. It's not a woman's dimension. Mine is a non-technical, purely social-based dimension, which I'm looking at. I mean, like, when would somebody say, oh my God, my sanity is challenged? I feel as if I'm losing my sanity. If all of us have pronounced these words at some point in life in our lives, when we say that, do you know what does it mean actually? It simply means that we need more positive people around us. We just need to surround ourselves with the more positive people. I just want to give an example of different kinds of situations I've seen in the past few months around me. Recently, I visited a family which had undergone a bereavement, and the breadwinner of the family is no longer alive, and the wife has no job, and the wife was already in her 70s, and she had 4 daughters and about 2 sons. 2 sons married, and literally, believe it or not, the parent does not know where that son lives. And the daughters married and scattered everywhere. And the eldest daughter was my friend, and when I visited her, apart from the grief they were all experiencing, she shocked me by saying, hey, believe it or not, even the grief I have to tahan. I mean, like, I have to put up with that, or I have to tolerate at some point in time. But what happens is, what is more challenging is the so-called people who are trying to counsel her. I mean, like, that lady is already struggling with how to manage her mom's family, or how to manage her mom, and her own siblings are badgering her. Oh my God, you should have done that. You should have done this. I don't have a job. My husband has a job. How can I go and ask him? All this kind of a nonsense. And believe it or not, that lady, simply because that one happened to be a single, as opposed to all her married siblings, she was loaded with all the burden. And she only told me this: I don't call this as burden. I just need to maintain my sanity amidst this pandemonium. People automatically assume that I need to be counseled, whereas I am already 40. She said, I'm 40 and I've been working. They automatically assume that I need to be counseled. I need to be told how to handle my mom. I need to be told how to find my long lost brothers, and how to find my other siblings and convince them into doing this and that. No, I'm not bothered about all that. I just want to maintain my sanity. And so I asked her, so what do you do? What do you think you can do? She said, I just want to surround myself with people who can say, hey, come on. Yes, it has happened. You can actually handle it. Don't worry, you can handle it. It's not a serious issue. There are many a person before you who have crossed that bridge, and we are here to support you mentally, morally, whatever, whenever you need to. Okay, I'm just a phone call away. As Amar said in the beginning, I'm just a phone call away. I'm always available for you to call me whenever you need to. Okay, bye. That's all they need. You see, like, going and bugging them and showing false demonstrations of grief or whatever is not going to maintain that person's sanity. Well, I'm going to tell you in a short while, after two more examples, how do they all maintain their sanity. Then another scenario. The guy is about 57 years old, believe it or not, born and brought up countryman in this country. And in the past 3 years, he has been retrenched 4 times. You heard it correctly. He has been retrenched 4 times. And every time, you believe it or not, he was highly qualified. He has very good experience. Only thing is, they want to retain a 25-year-old or 28-year-old person who is either interested in the job or who is more prone to job hopping than retaining this man. He told me, look, I have learned the hard lesson in life. Nothing called loyalty with the employers works anymore. He said, I don't believe in that anymore. I said, please don't lose heart. Why? No, no, no. You see, in this kind of a retrenchment scenario, I have now managed to find again a job which is just paying 20% of his previous pay. 20%. He told me, despite the financial crunch, I'm able to maintain sanity because I did this. I'll tell you what is that shortly. And again, there's the third scenario. The children, okay, school children, students of various ages. You would have never heard in the past in Singapore that, oh, I feel depressed, I'm having mental trauma, all those big sounding words. School going kids 9 years old and 10 years old are telling. When I was 9 years old, I never knew the meaning of the word trauma, depression, stress, and all that. I had to look at just browse through the dictionary later because those words I found in some storybook. That's all. But the kid explained to me in detail, thinking, I do not know what is trauma. She explained to me, this is called this. I'm having trauma because of PSLE examination. I am having trauma because when I'm doing my fourth class itself, my parents expect that I should get first rank in PSLE and go to the best, latest school in Singapore. Otherwise, they said they'll disown me, and so on and so forth. So this is the scenario amidst which I'm looking at how to maintain sanity. So what do? Can I change anything around me? Absolutely not possible, right? I cannot go and change how Amar thinks about me, Dr. Ram thinks about me, Arunji thinks about me. I cannot do that. Okay. I cannot go and think about how my neighbor is going to talk about me. But I don't have control over all that. I cannot think about what governments will do in this situation. I have no control over that. But God given all of us have got something in our hand. If we choose to look inward instead of outward, we have control over ourselves. This is the only way to maintain sanity. Immediately don't jump into the conclusion that I'm asking all of us to maintain some practices that will lead us to become Maharishis. No. However, it may sound bombastic, that's not possible for everybody. But there is something called the art of maintaining our inner harmony over which we have control. I suggest we make every conscious effort to maintain this inner harmony. How? Listen. First, I will come from external things. Listen to calming music, not that music that will make you jump and dance in the middle of the night. That you may listen, that's a separate story. But if you're talking about sanity, forget about metal rock for temporarily at least. Push it away. I don't say you have to go to another extreme and listen to only Carnatic music also. That is for the lovers of that music. What I mean is, no need to have any words. Just have calming music around you and calming instrumental music around you, which will allow you to think, first. Okay, then what else can I do? I can look into myself. I can even keep a notebook, jot down what are all the triggers I face in the society. For example, I cannot say so and so, Mr. K looks at me and talks like that. No. What do I mean? Like, if somebody talks like that, forget about them. What triggers you? If someone says, oh, I thought you used to look very slim, you are very fat now. Immediately it triggers my defensive this thing. And then I find this as an affective filter. Write it down. Like this, someone says, oh my God, I thought your proficiency in that particular area was superb. Nowadays, you are no longer like that. Trigger to me, write down. Then someone says, you know something? I found your sister more attractive. Trigger to me, write down. You get what I mean? You write down all the triggers, then look at it. Do you know what you're doing at that point in time? You are looking at your inner side in a mirror when you do that. We are not bothered about others who do this. You are allowed to look into yourself and you know which affects you and which does not affect. Okay. This is like a deep cleansing, literally sanitizing your hand, right? You are preparing a sanitization for your inner self. Okay. Once this is done, keep it away. Then surround yourself with positive thoughts. Every day, think of abundance. Abundance is going to help you. Beautiful. The entire world is ahead of me. The entire world I'm encompassed with love, compassion, beauty, everything. Look at the sunshine more often. Don't darken your room, and then don't keep on looking at that dark themed laptop, and then don't keep on looking at the series and series of Netflixes where people do nothing except psychiatric thrillers. Don't, because that's all going to affect your sanity. And last but not the least, start doing meditation. There are many types of meditation. If you simply absolutely know nothing, just keep your eyes closed. Okay, keep your eyes closed. Look here, just do that. And only when you want to do meditation, you will think about your postman. You will think about all those groceries you forgot to buy from NTUC. And then you will think about whether you're going to miss your MRT timing again. You are going to think about whether you filled in petrol or not in your car. Everything except meditation, you will think at the initial stage when you start doing it. That's absolutely okay. You don't need to do anything. You be in what is called in Sanskrit as Sakshi Bhava, meaning you dissociate yourself from whatever is happening and allow everything to pass before your eyes like a movie. Will you do anything if a movie is being shown to you? Just do that. Like after successive practices, it will literally start emptying from your mind. I have experienced it. I've done it before. And the moment, or you can, after this, you can enroll yourself in some, under some guru, and many people are there today to teach that. Even Arun Sharma ji is one expert in teaching meditation. Even though I have not had the opportunity to undergo the meditation under him, I do collect details about what he has been doing, and I do appreciate it. And many people are there like that. You can do that. Once you start doing meditation, automatically we will feel a calming effect. What will assess this further? You have to go into yoga practices, meditation, and writing it down, and then looking at it objectively. Apart from all this, making sure that you are surrounded by positive people, you listen to positive, calming music. And do you think that I asked you to do all this so that you can forget your worries? No, you do all this so that you are better equipped to deal with your worries. You are better equipped to deal with your financial woes. You are better equipped to deal with your bereavement. You are better equipped to deal with your retrenchments. And you are better equipped to deal not only with your own grief, but also another unrelated person's grief. I hope the point about sanity you all got. Thank you very much.
Dr. Raji, your explanation made me like playing a video game. Pandemic is a war, and you gave me equipment of ammo to fight this situation. Of course, your ammunition, as you mentioned, musical therapy, trigger journal, inner mirror, abundance, sunshine, meditation, yoga, and back to the basics of human, I mean, surviving and evolution of survival. As you mentioned that Mr. Arun is into meditation, he teaches meditation. So to take this talk ahead with Mr. Arun, as we all know, he is a coach and life coach, and he is the author of the book Quotes Enrich, which is available in Amazon. And he's into meditation and spirituality. Mr. Arun, there is a saying that there are no atheists in foxholes. That means one has to revisit teachings from your own faith. I would like to ask Mr. Arun to enlighten us with this revisiting faith, which is very much necessary for maintaining sanity. Mr. Arun.
Some people are in peace and some people are in pieces. What do you choose? We all choose. and we get that. Have you heard people saying, I have everything in life. I have money, I have spouse, I have a good job, I have a position in society, but I'm not happy. But I'm emotionally very unstable. So some people, they have everything, but they don't have mental peace. They have everything in life, but they don't have emotional comfort. And such people are growing more and more in number in advanced countries like UK, America, Germany, and all the advanced countries. Such people are more on the rise. Comfort is one strong factor which some people may not agree with me. We recently came across that lady who got silver for India, Mirabai. And if you look at her background, she comes from poverty. This morning also I saw a video. I've become a great fan of hers. And her background, her house, you look at her house, her background, she's not highly qualified and all, but she became one in 1.3 billion people, and she got a silver medal for the country. And right from the President of India to the last person in bureaucracy is congratulating her and sending her gifts and giving her prizes and making so many awards for her. And she has become overnight more than a millionaire. Now, what has she got? What was extra with her? She maintained her sanity and she could hit the top. Maintaining sanity is the easiest thing for a normal person, for an illiterate person. And it's very difficult for a literate and very intellectual, very difficult for them to maintain sanity. Because they are always conflicting in their mind. They are always judging on right, wrong, right, wrong, right, wrong. And if you are into that, if you're judging every situation, you're judging every person, you lose your sanity. When you compare yourself with everybody else, you lose your sanity. Don't judge others. Don't compare yourself with others. You be in your own world. You keep on improving. You keep becoming a better version of yourself. That's fine. That's wonderful. But the moment you get into judging others and comparing yourself, you will lose your sanity. As Dr. Raji said, that there are so many things which can bring sanity in our life, such as yoga, pranayam, meditation, regular visit to a church or temple or place of worship, and things which will affect you negatively is watching too much of television, eating wrong kind of food, being into pornography. All these will bring insanity to your mind. You see, you have the mind, you have the intellect, you have the memory and ego. When we talk about sanity, it should be all these components must be sanitized. Your mind, your intellect, your memory, and your ego. If all the four components. If you don't sanitize, if only three are sanitized and one is not, then also there's a problem. Because say you lose your memory, again your sanity is lost. You forget your bank account number, and overseas you kept billions of dollars and now you don't know. So that will be losing your sanity. You have everything. You have a good mind, you have a good intellect, you have a good memory, but then you don't have control over your ego. Again, you lose your sanity. So you have to maintain all the four components: mind, intellect, memory, and ego. All the four components you have to manage and sanitize, and all must be quite healthy. Otherwise, very difficult to maintain sanity. When you give up vanity, when you adopt humanity, it is very easy to get rid of insanity. Just so you are self-centered. Always you're trying to please yourself. You're trying to fulfill your own desires. It's very difficult to manage sanity with that. When you are serving others, very easy to manage sanity. Very, very easy to manage. So you have to be, instead of taking a personal approach, you take a societal approach. It's easy to maintain sanity. Then even hard work becomes pleasure. When you do something for yourself, then it becomes difficult. But when you do the same thing for society, it becomes quite easy. You start getting pleasure out of it. When you do it for yourself, it becomes very painful. So my advice is maintain healthy practices, visit a place of worship, do meditation as much as possible. And meditation, as Dr. Raji rightly said, you need not do a formal meditation. You can also do informal meditation. You can be into meditative state. While walking also you can do meditation. While sitting in a train also you can do meditation. While talking to others also you're into meditation. For instance, I'm speaking on this topic. At this topic, when I'm talking on this topic, if I'm aware of my breath, then I'm into meditative state. The moment you are aware of your breath and you're talking, you're into meditation. You can improve your content also by that. So sanity is very simple. It's all up to us, but then people make it very complicated. They go into depression. They have suicidal tendencies. And more educated people are suffering more. You will seldom find an illiterate person saying that I'm into depression. They don't even know the meaning of the word depression. How will they go into depression? First, you must understand the word depression before you go into depression. So they don't even know what is depression. The utmost they can say, oh, today I don't feel very nice. Somehow I'm not feeling well. This is the maximum they can say because they don't know. More you study on depression, more you understand, more logical you are, more intellectual you are. Oh, then you chances are you might go into depression. The chances are. So you have to sanitize your mind. You have to sanitize your intellect. You have to sanitize your ego, and you have to sanitize your memory. Once you sanitize, then sanity is automatically maintained. Thank you.
Well explained, Mr. Arun. Being learned and being literate, uh, a huge difference with mind, intellect, sanity, and ego. And definitely do something for others. It's a part of a sacrifice. So when sacrifice is done, everything falls into place, and you are back on your normal mode. So would anybody like to add on something with what Mr. Arun said? Yes, Dr. Ram.
It's wonderful. So three minds think differently for the people to get the enough messages about sanity in life. Really, I have to thank Dr. Rajesh Srinivasan to put forth the points how to make ourselves empowered with the conditions with the sanity and the way of lifestyle that is making the people more powerful as well as more strong to face their current challenges. That is the lifestyle Mr. Arun Sharma mentioned clearly. A very simple manner, we can able to lead the life with a more powerful and strengthful. So thank you for your insights. And as per the complexity of the life and the lifestyle, the people could not able to focus well. That is having lot of misunderstanding, failures, and able to struggle because as per the Darwin's theory, natural selection, the evolutionary theory, struggle for existence, survival of the fittest, use and disuse theory. So whenever we are having the circumstances, we can think about all these features to fit well in the community and lead well for our day-to-day life and having a wonderful period of our life, not only for us, also for the surrounding. Thank you.
I'd like to add here, Amar had asked me about faith. I forgot to mention about it. You have to subscribe to some faith. No choice. No choice. You cannot say, at the age of 20, you can say, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in this. Very nice, that can be. But when you become older, nobody has to teach you. You start saying your version changes automatically. Your version would change. Then you start believing in a lot of things which you are not supposed to believe. That also, you start believing in ghost also. So one is you stop controlling things. You can't control anything in life. You cannot control anything. You can't control your life. You can't control others' life. Nobody, nothing. You have to live life in surrender mode. And that can only happen when you have faith, when you believe in divine power. Then only you surrender. Okay. I will do my best, but rest, what will happen, I don't know. I will do my best. I will study to the best of my ability. And then after that, whether I pass or not, it's not in my hands. I will put in my best. I'll put in my hard work. I will take coaching. I will do whatever I can. So you have to live life in surrender mode. You have to forget controlling. I want to control everything. No, you cannot control. Secondly, you have to accept things as they are. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? This fellow is like this. I'm like this. What? Why? There's no answer to this why. You accept the way it is for you. That's it. Why I live in 200 square feet house and he's living in 2000? He is. That's it. You do. There is no answer to this question. So you have to accept things as they are. If you don't accept, you will lose your sanity. Your cool will be lost. So you accept whatever is available to you, accept and be grateful. That's it. And live life in surrender mode. Don't try to control things. I want to control my son. I want to control my wife. I want to control my subordinates. I want to control everything around me. I'm the boss. You will lose your sanity. You will go bonkers. Don't control anybody. Just control your inner self. Good enough. And you will control the whole world. As they say, inside you and the outside universe are same. Yatha pinde tatha brahmande. Whatever is inside, the same. So you just control yourself, inner self, and the whole world will come in control of you. Thank you.
I just want to add a little bit to what Sharmaji and Dr. Ram said. You see, it is actually the control freaks who want to have a control over others, everybody around them, from their wife, husband, children, parents, friends, everybody around them. They are the one who actually have lost sanity, number one. Number two, during this pandemic, almost for the past 18, 19 months, it has taught us something. It has taught us a very valuable life lesson. If we refuse to take that lesson, at least now, actually God has come in personal form to teach us that lesson now, because he was fed up with us and he has decided to come to each house and teach us how to conduct ourselves. Now also, if we refuse to take the cue, it's going to be a no-show. You see, why do I say this is, you know something, especially, I'm really sorry. I ask apology from every Indian who I know in any part of the world, especially the Indians from India. I ask apology and then say this. You see, as a race, Indians, we are used to having very grand weddings, okay? Practically anybody whom you have seen once in your life or whom you have met through Facebook, They are considered your wedding guests, and then because you want to have a show off wedding, people used to issue anywhere minimum 500 wedding invitations to even 2,000, 3,000 wedding invitations, and then pledge your entire wealth and go around, get money. If you're rich or not rich, doesn't matter. Your wedding seems to be like a kind of a Bollywood affair that's shown in the movies. And then after that, you see like so many people you call, so much of food you provide, all the food for people who already have. People, you are giving about 20, 30, 50 varieties of food on that one particular plate there. And then there are people who pick, eat, and then put like that and go off. They don't appreciate your food. After about an hour or so or two, they would have said that particular kulfi could have been a little bit done better, or this barfi could have come out nicely, all that. Okay. Now, this period has taught us all that insanity should be a bygone day insanity. See, we had been working even from our home. Okay. We, all the $200, $300 shoes, or even more than that, you have bought. Do you even use it today? No. And then jacket. Okay. Basically, for professional purposes, a couple of jackets, or maybe 3 or 4, more than enough. Other than that, you don't need all that silkwear. You don't need all the jewelry, whether women or men, I'm saying the same. You don't need all the tuxedo. You don't need all that. You still can live, you still can earn. You'll be surprised to know that if you have not lost your job in a retrenchment, the past 1.5 years, if we had been working from home, even though we have some kind of mental issues, all of us have saved enough money. Okay. I mean, like, this is another point, another way of looking at it. So what I'm trying to suggest is we have to start living in a very casual, happy manner. We don't need to look at other people, and we don't need to look at them and compare our dress with theirs or our car with them. Who cares if you are driving a Toyota or a BMW? No, everything, all got 4 wheels, and you put petrol, it will run and come back. That's all. Nothing. If you really need to own a car, you can own a car which you can afford and which you can comfortably live with. If you're able to afford BMW, please feel free to do that. My question is, don't keep that as a target and lose your sanity. So the takeaway from COVID-19 is we as human beings are programmed to live with the minimum in a happy manner. We shouldn't forget it. Thank you.
Thank you. That was nicely said. I wished the letter I would have been deleted in the English word of sanity. Instead of E could have replaced, because I is a self-centric approach which drives everybody crazy. Uh, I just remembered a quote that the statistics of sanity are that 1 out of every 4 people is suffering from mental illness. Look at your 3 friends. If they are okay, then it's you. So, with this quote on the lighter side, I wish that everybody got a clear message of our subject on sanity, and would request the viewers to kindly subscribe, share, like, and comment. Comment, of course. We would like you to give us some topics of your interest so that we can work upon and deliver with our experience that we wish to share with you all. So, with this, we end this episode of Sanity. Thank you, everybody. Namaste.